The Interview is a comedy in the style of This Is the End, in the sense that it relies a lot on shock humor and the overall uncomfortable nature of the situation that our main characters are in, that being two American journalists in Pyongyang who have been asked by the CIA to assassinate Kim Jong-un. So yeah, that can lead to some uncomfortable stuff and allow for some jokes. The problem is that with this film, unlike This Is the End, is that this film kind of hits a bit of a plateau during the second act. There are a few bumps here and there and some okay and well-executed jokes, but for the most part, it's just kind of meh. A lot of the major bumps they try to work in towards the end to try to ramp things up mainly come across in the form of desperate gratuity, mainly gratuitous gore, as they're trying to basically stretch a reference to The Lord of the Rings as far as they possibly can take it. Like I said, there are some well-executed jokes here and there, but there are a few moments where the film's almost kind of trying a little bit too hard. And that same criticism can even be leveled against James Franco, who does a pretty good job of playing the a-hole, vain talk show host who wants everybody to take him seriously and is just basically an overall, well, D-bag. But like I said, there are just some moments where his overall unpleasantness kind of get in the way and kind of take away from the humor and almost kind of took me out of the experience a few times. I mean, it was a right fit, he did a good job, but it just was a little too much in terms of making the character not all that likable. Luckily, Seth Rogen, playing the straight man that is kind of in the comedy duo of James Franco and Seth Rogen, manages to balance the film out somewhat, but even that gets a little bit undone by the film's attempts to kind of ramp up the levels of shock humor that I mentioned earlier. When it comes to the technical aspects of this film, there's not really that much I can say. I mean, yeah, the costumes and the sets look good, but nothing really stood out. And the cinematography wasn't all that memorable, save for one scene towards the end, and even then it wasn't really all that memorable because of the cinematography itself, but mainly because it was building upon a joke introduced earlier and was more or less strengthened by the music more than anything else. Overall, I think the best comparison this film has is that it's very similar to Team America World Police. It's straight up satire that's not really meant to be taken all that seriously. It's a film worth streaming if you're just gonna stream it and watch it with your friends in a living room, but personally, I wouldn't have paid to see it in the theater if it wasn't for the media circus kind of surrounding it, and I wouldn't even have really paid for the film to stream it if it wasn't for all the craziness. There's nothing about the film that's all that memorable because of the film itself. The only reason that people will actually remember this film is because of everything surrounding it, and that's really all it has going for it. Yeah, it's made $15 million from its online revenue and $2.8 million from its theatrical revenue at the time of this recording, but that's probably more because of public curiosity than any merit of the film itself. If it hadn't been for all the controversy and all the threats regarding it from North Korea, or the hackers acting on behalf of North Korea, or whatever people figure out is going on, the film probably wouldn't have done that well on its own. So really, that's all I can say about that. It's an okay film if you like that sort of comedy. If you liked This Is the End or Team America World Police, you'll enjoy it. But really, it doesn't have much else going for it. So all of that said, The Interview gets a 3.5 out of 5. So that's it for this episode of Romney's Reviews. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.